Hello friends, this is Jim here with Science Talk, and I have an interesting report to share with you illustrating the adaptability of organisms. So scientists are looking or doing a study on the remote Norwegian archipelago of Svalbard, uh, examine what the reindeer were doing there. And the reindeer, not being able to find their usual diet, are now eating seaweed. So what is threatening the reindeer is not cold and snow, but rain. Interesting. So in the warmer winter weather, rain falls instead of snow. So it's precipitating rain instead of snow. And this causes a crust of ice that becomes too thick for the reindeer to break through and get to the plants beneath. Usually you have snow that falls, and the reindeer, when you look at their hood, they really splay out. It's almost like snowshoes. But they also use those hooves to scrape away the snow to get to the underlying plant. And here, at least in Alaska, they tend to eat lichen, which is a symbiotic relationship between a fungus and an algae. And lichens grow extremely slowly, about a centimeter a decade or something like that. That's why reindeers are always migrating to move on to find other lichen and let that lichen recover. So the Svalbard reindeer are a subspecies adapted to the extreme climate and known locally as Arctic pigs because of their round shape and stubby legs. I don't come up with the names, but hey. Even with deep snow, the reindeer can use the hoods, as just described to you, to get to the plants. But recently, Svalbard, at its most northerly point of the Gulf Stream, has been experiencing warmer winters. So it is raining heavily rather than snowing. And then that rain, because the temperatures are still cool, is turning to ice, but the ice is becoming extremely thick that the reindeer can't break through that. Plus, it's slippery walking anyway. So the scientists who did this study report in the journal Ecosphere that they had assumed that global warming would make life easier for the reindeer, but they found that the 20,000 or so animals there were struggling to survive the rain. An earlier study found that the impact of climate change on the vegetation the animals eat had caused their average weight to fall by more than 10% in a 16-year period. That's significant. To find out about their new eating habits, the scientists from the Norwegian University of Science and Technology, NTNU, studied the droppings of the reindeer to establish what they've been eating. Now, that's not as easy as it sounds because you got to find them. But they put the GPS tracking devices on the reindeer, attached to almost 2,200 animals, 2,199 to be exact. And then over 9 years, the scientists tracked their movements, coming up behind them to pick up their droppings. They compared the movements 9 years of data they had on ice thickness covering the snow, called basal ice. This showed the reindeer moved to the coast when the ice was thickest. Biologist Braj Bremset Hansen, and colleagues who have been studying the reindeer for decades were delighted to be able to prove that the newly acquired seaweed eating habit was related to new conditions on Svalbard. They didn't feed exclusively on seaweed. Using stable isotope and GPS collar data showed that they ate it as supplementary source of nutrition. In other words, seaweed alone does not sustain them. They do move back and forth between the shore and the few ice-free vegetation patches every day, so it is obvious they are combining with their normal food. This is a statement from Dr. Hansen. Eating seaweed comes at a cost. It gives the reindeer a lot of diarrhea, probably from the salt causing osmotic imbalances. It's not ideal eating seaweed, but it does show the animals are able to adapt, which is good news. The bigger picture is that although we sometimes observe that populations crashed during extremely icy winters, reindeer are surprisingly adaptive, Dr. Hansen continues. So it will remain to see what the long-term fate of that group of animals are, but they are showing some sort of adaptation taking place. The problem is, overall, is that the change is happening too fast for the animals, organisms, no matter where they are, no matter what the organisms are, flora or fauna, to adapt in a timely manner. And that it could be a problem which can cause the population declines, possible extinctions of many forms. This is at least somewhat encouraging. Thank you for your time. Hey folks, it's a reminder to please share my videos with others, and to also please tell others of my channel. Please subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so that you receive notifications when I upload new videos. I also hope that you will consider supporting the work that I do and supporting this channel by becoming a patron at patreon.com. Details in the description box below. Thank you for your support.